Hello, this is High Templar, and I want to show you my new mechanics video. I would be testing some damage dealing Chaos Hero units. So that would be armored trolls. These are Chaos Warriors, and these are Forsaken. And in this instance I will be fighting Dwarf Warriors. Their nominal price is 475, and they are very solid unit. However, I am flanking, but this is also what I would do in normal fight. And as you can see already, those Dwarf Warriors are just disappearing here. And let's just see what will happen here. I am supporting my trolls with my leader because they need their morale and attacking from the back, obviously. Charging in the back of the units, and pretty much the same here with the Forsaken, who does seem to be doing a really good damage, even though they are not armor piercing units, although they do seem to have a less of an impact than trolls, which in fact are armor piercing units. However, you can see that in the Forsaken, some of this is actually armor piercing. I don't exactly remember how much, but so as you can see, we are wrapping with those trolls and Forsaken around, and here are Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I'm not engaging with my hero, nor is this guy, but as you can see, they are completely shattered. I'm stopping those Dwarf Warriors from coming back from a battle with one Chaos Warriors great weapon unit, and this is pretty much the end of it, as you could have guessed. Now, here you can see that every Forsaken unit except for the very left one actually suffered quite some losses, but they dealt a whole lot of damage, even though dwarves are heavily armored, right? But the losses are quite extreme, whereas Great Open Warriors, even though they are armor piercing, did less damage, but their health is in much better state. Now, because those guys, their armor is less, and there is only 80 of those guys and 100 of those guys. Now, trolls did least of the damage, but they fared the best when it comes to health, and this is more or less what you would expect from the trolls actually. But those trolls did not run away. Now, let's see quickly, because that will be a quick fight, how well those trolls will fare with full spam. I mean, those units will go against full spam of Chaos Murderers. Chaos Murderers 400 Dwarf unit, but so much more brittle than Dwarf Warriors. So let's see what will happen now. I mean, you probably can guess what will happen. This will not be a long fight. I'm walking my unit just to save their strength. Again, trying to use my hero aura to reinforce those guys. And the battle will start in a minute. You can see that Forsaken unit has 640 health, whereas Chaos Warriors have 7,300, and there is actually, they have more armor, and there is armor on each one of those guys, basically. So that armor is actually even more useful than on those guys, because there is more of them. So every hit to those guys will take slightly less damage, and if it does, only one guy will die, basically. So charge on with all my units. Actually, that was head to head without any going around. However, as you can see what happens here. Forsaken absolutely destroyed Marauders in seconds. That was seconds. And in this particular case, Chaos Marauders will do, with great weapons, will do pretty much the same as normal Chaos Marauders, since their weapon strength is very similar, only armor piercing damage is different, and Marauders have only 15 armor. And now I'm wrapping around with Trolls and Forsaken, and this is going to end very fast. Very fast indeed. Stopping some of the Marauders from coming back with Trolls. And fighting the hero. So now you can see massive damage on Forsaken, However, Chaos Warriors still did very well, pretty much the same as in previous battle. And the Trolls did similarly, however less killed, because basically there is less dwarves than Chaos Marauders. Trolls are armor piercing, so they do slightly better with less numerous foes in armors. And final test would be, I want to show you, against greatswords. So this fight is actually large founds, greatsword spam against my guys. It's also, so the price for the units is very similar, slightly more for the Empire. And Empire is at the infantry unit, so as you expect, it should do well against Forsaken and Chaos Warriors. Those guys have some armor piercing, they are armored and anti-infantry. So they should do, they should destroy similar unit. Oh, so you could think of Chaos Warriors with great weapons, because they are more expensive, or the same price, like 50 more probably. And they should absolutely destroy Forsaken. So let's see what will happen here. I am supporting closely the Trolls because their morale is very brittle. And here we have an attack. Caught the both swords, supporting those Trolls and going around with my Trolls. 2 units of Trolls not engaged in a fight so far, and I'm engaging with those Forsaken units from the back. So that great sword should be in much trouble, but as you can see here, all the Forsaken units fighting the great swords are breaking, and here 3 units was fighting actually, and those guys are just dropping like flies. Trolls were able to defend themselves, and single unit of great sword is actually doing not so well against single unit of great weapons is not doing so well against single unit of great sword. With very small amount of difference in price, those Chaos Warriors are actually dropping. Some of the Forsaken has gotten back, so I'm engaging them back with my great swords. And the same story with my Chaos Trolls, which like to run away a lot. But as you can see, I pretty much lost the center and left flank. And token force of Chaos Warriors plus armored Chaos Trolls are left in the fight. Those guys shattered. And trolls are running away, regenerating a bit. I'm getting them back to the fight as soon as possible and charging. Those units are not spears. They don't have bonus damage against large, because spears and halabards would do very differently, especially halabards. However, as you can see, we are actually breaking the enemy with our trolls, and our trolls are still regenerating whenever they run away, and now the enemy is completely broken. And I'm just replenishing my losses and counter-charging what's left of those great sword. I am using my abilities properly, because I would lose if I wouldn't. So Pyrrhic victory. And only 70-60 kills on the Forsaken, because they weren't there long enough to deal any damage, but as you can see, they actually did those damage in seconds. So if you charge in the back of any unit, great swords included, they would do very well. My unsupported great weapon Chaos Warriors killed only 80-60 guys out of the enemy unit, 70 on average. And Chaos Trolls, armored Chaos Trolls, did splendid. They won this battle. 175 kills on 2 units of Trolls, and they actually are in very good condition because they're regenerating. Wherever they run away, they regenerate health a bit, and they go back to the fight. So this is how it ended. Although if this guy used his general appropriately, those guys would win. So that's it. I wanted to show you where to use and where to not to use Forsaken, Chaos Warriors and Trolls. I do believe obviously Chaos Warriors is the best rounded unit. However, it's more expensive than Forsaken, but it can do well in every of those situations except for fighting a unit that has bonus against infantry. So that's it. Hope you like it. If you did, press like and see my other videos and see my let's plays. Bye.